Hi everyone, Salesforce Development Day 38. Today's we will go through the previous session overview and we'll talk about the schedule programming and flex queues, Cron expression. And then finally we'll have a trial head. Now, last time we have implemented it. What did we learn in last class? What did we learn in last class?
Future method and database.queuable.
Queueable we have seen, right? So we have implemented the class hiring manager queueable, and in queueable has only one method, which is the execute method. In the execute method, we have written all the logic. Now, last time I have not mentioned any homework. I have not given any homework. So homework is implement a queueable job to create a account and call another queueable job to create a related opportunity for account. So that means you need to implement a queueable job. One is to implement a queueable job to create a account and call another queueable job to create a related opportunity. Related opportunity. Now, let's see the next topic, which is queueable. Next topic is schedule programming. Schedule programming. Now, schedule programming. Now, how to write a schedulable program? If you want to write a schedulable program, we have to use the interface system.schedulable interface. So in order to write a schedulable interface, so let's see the steps. Step one is we need to use the access modifier global, and we should implement the interface like when we write a global class name and implements, we need to use the interface called system.schedulable. System.schedulable. Now write a business logic inside this. So if it is a batch class, we have used the implements database.batchable. If it is a schedulable class, you have to use the implement system.schedulable. Implement schedule system.schedulable. Take a notes of it. This is the step one.
ఇది నాకు తెలిసి ఇవన్నీ కానీ ఇది కూడా ఇది మేడ అది కూడా
Take a notes of this and let me know once it is done. Take in the notes. Okay. Now, this is the step one. Step one is implementing a class. Now, step two is provide the implementation for the interface method. Inside that class, we need to write a method. So first we will write a class, global class name, implement system.schedulable. Within that, we will write a only one method. Like if it is a database for batchable, we need to write a 3 methods. If it is a schedulable class, we need to write only one method, which is a execute method, Execute, within this, we will write a business logic. And whether we wanted to perform the DML operation or whether you want to perform the any logic inside this, you will use the global void execute method. Take a notes of it. Now let's go ahead and implement the schedulable class. So for implementing the schedulable class, first what we will do is we will go for implementing a batch class. Now I'll show you the 2 ways of implementing the schedulable class. Now let's say that we have a object, there is an object called position object. Now let's say, do we have a milestone date or not? So let's go to the Salesforce. In Salesforce, now let's say that we have a position object. Inside this position object, let's open one of the record. Now we have a minimum pay, now maximum pay. Now there is a milestone date. Okay. So if the milestone date is already crossed, that means today is 28th August. Today is 28th August. So there are few positions that are already closed. Now if I go to the all list view, and let's say I'm going to add one of the field to display here, which is a milestone date. This is a milestone date. Now there are few records which already completed, like this is already completed, this position is already closed, this position is also already closed, and these are also already closed. Now, wherever the milestone is not equal, milestone date is not equal to null, and if the milestone is already crossed, that means this position is already closed. If the position is already closed, then we are going to delete those records from the system. I wanted to delete those records from the system. So basically every month or every 2 months, we have to schedule a batch class. Every 2 months, we have to schedule a batch class. Now let's go ahead and implement this. So first of all, if I want to write a query, so the query will be select ID, comma name from position object, where now we have a milestone date. Let's go to the object manager, position object, open the position object, and let's see the fields API name. I need to get the API name. So milestone date, where milestone date is less than, that means it is a less than today's date. If it is a less than today's date, it will not come here. Now let's say go for an anonymous window. Now let me implement this. So this is a position object, right? So position object is __C. The position POS, this is a list of it. List of the position records equal to, I'm going to write all this query inside this bracket. Now you can say today or system.today. System.today. Now if it is a less than system.today, now I wanted to get the information. Let's say system.debug position POS. Now let's print these values, execute the highlighted one. Now what is the problem here? System.today. Executed. No, unexpected token. Now what is the wrong here?
Where equal to, I guess, ma'am.
Where?
Milestone underscore date underscore C equals to or whatever, I don't know. Whatever parameters.
Is it right or wrong? So what should I need to update it here? So I have written the system.today. Still it is giving the error. So bracket should not be there. So we have a total records. We have received it 3 records. So this is the first record, and this is the second, and third, fourth, fifth, 5 records we have received it. Right. So 5 records are there. These are the 2 and these are the 3. So total 5 records. The error was we should not have a bracket here. Right. So bracket means function. We are checking the function there. So this is directly, I can write this logic inside the batch class. Now inside the batch class, I'll write the same exactly. Now let's go ahead and implement the batch class. So total 5 records, we are going to delete it from the position object. File, new, Apex class. Let's say that delete position records batch. Now it should be a global class name implements database dot batchable as object, right? So now whenever I implement a interface database dot batchable, it expects the 3 methods. So 3 methods are, the first one is a global Now, this time what I'm going to do, usually what we write database dot query locator, start method at database dot batchable context BC. This is start method. And similarly, we have a execute method, global void execute database dot batchable context BC. BC, comma, list of S object. It's a record. Global void, and the last method is finish method. Finish database dot batchable context BC. Three methods. Now, every time what we do is we are checking here S object database dot query locator. Now, sometimes people were asking that can I write a instead of data here S object, can I pass a single object? Yes, you can pass a single object here. Now, in that case, what you need to do is instead of a database dot query locator, let's say, for example, right now I'm going to pass the position object, position underscore C. In case if you are querying the position object, you need to pass the position record. So that means here you have to write the direct SOQL query. Instead of a database dot query locator, you need to write a direct SOQL query. So right now I'm writing the direct SOQL query. Let's say that limit 1. Limit 1. I'm going to just take only one record. Right, so this is the record. Now return. I need to return the whatever the record we are querying it. I need to return the pivots. Now that details will be taken into this. Now in the execute method, what I'm going to check if I have a size is greater than 0. Record dot size is greater than 0. Then I'm going to delete the, so let's use the database dot delete. Database dot delete. And I'm going to pass the record comma false. No, that's it. We are deleting the record. Right, so I'm querying the direct position object so that I can pass a position object here. You don't change it this S object. Don't change this S object. Only the S object, if you want to change it in the execute method, the start method has to return value should be the sum object. Return value should be the sum object. When you have a return value of the sum object, then only that particular object specified. Now you are directly passing the position, right? So in that case, I'll take a record database dot delete record comma false. Record comma false. Now this is the batch class. Now if I want to execute the batch class, I need to use the delete position. I need to initialize the batch, and we need to use the database dot execute batch. Database dot execute batch. If I use the execute batch, then what will happen? The batch gets executed. Let's assume that this batch I wanted to schedule it. This batch I wanted to schedule it. Now, if you want to schedule this batch, usually what we will do, we will go to the home setup and search here Apex classes. Search here Apex classes. And when you search the Apex class, now here you have a schedule Apex. Click on the schedule Apex. Now, this is the job name and this is the Apex class. Now, in this Apex class, is it showing any of the classes here, Apex classes? It is not showing the any Apex classes, because if you are going for a schedule Apex, Only here the Apex classes are acceptable only when you use the interface system.schedulable. Only it will use system.schedulable. Now, either you can write a schedulable batch class in the same class, or else whatever you have implemented. Right now, I have implemented the batchable class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write another class, which is a schedulable class. Let's say that this is a position schedulable. Now in this position schedulable, I'll use the global and class name, right? So this is the class name, and let's say implements. I'm going to use the interface which is called system.schedulable. System.schedulable. Now when I use the interface system.schedulable, it expects the method which is the execute method. So method we need to write it global void execute. Now inside this we need to pass the parameter which is a system.schedulable context, let's say SC. Now this is the only one method. Now in this method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the batch class. I'm going to call the batch class. That means I'm going to invoke the batch class. Invoke batch class. Now, this is the batch class name, delete position records, and I'll create a BT equal to new, delete position records. Now, database dot execute batch. Now I'm going to specify here BT. Now this is about the schedulable class. Now if I refresh the Apex class and click on this binocular, now if I click on this binocular, now it is going to show me the position schedulable. That means only the Apex classes you can see in the schedulable Apex is where you have a interface system.schedulable. Wherever you have a system.schedulable, only those classes can be visible into the schedulable Apex class. Now let's say here I'm specifying the job name, delete the, let's say delete position records. Position records. Now Apex class is, I'm going to specify the Apex class is position schedulable. Do you want to execute this? How frequently you want to execute this batch class? Now let's say monthly I wanted to execute. So do you want to go for a monthly 1 day or monthly 2 times? Every month 1 time, right? So starts on. So when it should start on 1st of Sunday of every month, right? First Sunday of every month. That means in the September, the next month, Sunday is 10th. So it is going to first batch, it is going to run on Sunday. Now, when do you want to start this? Do you want to start today or tomorrow? Right? So what is the starting time? Now you can specify 29 August to the till September. Usually it will take by default 1 month. If you want to go for a 2 months or 1 year, you have to choose it here. How do you want to go for it? And preferred start time. How do you want to schedule it? Now, here we have a time, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., right? So 1 p.m., all these times are available. Now you decided, you means client is going to explain it when they are going to run the Apex class. Now if the client did not specify anything, then we have to usually run at 1 a.m. or at 12 a.m. or at 2 a.m. because this is the time the users or clients are, nobody is available in the system. When nobody is available in the system, batch can execute it fastly and it will complete the job soon. Now here exact start time will depend on the job queue activity. That means if there is a multiple jobs are scheduled at the same time, multiple jobs are scheduled at the same time. Now what will happen? It will go into the queue. It will go into the queue. So it will execute it based on the, whenever the job is available to start executing it based on the load on the backside, right? So based on that, it will execute it. Now, as soon as I click on save, now the class is scheduled. Class is scheduled. Now, where can I see the scheduled class? You have to go to the schedule level. You have to go to the scheduled jobs. Go to the scheduled jobs. Click on the scheduled jobs. Now here it is showing the delete position record. Who has scheduled? This is the person has scheduled. Submitted at 8:29 a.m. and start date, it is not yet started, right? When it is going to start, next schedule is on 3/9/2023. So September 3rd, it is going to start on the 1 a.m. Right? So this is how it is going to execute. Now, in case if you want to modify the time or a date, in that case, what you need to do, click on this. But if you try to modify anything here, 1 a.m. to the 2 a.m. And if I click on this, save is not available. So if you want to modify, you have to delete this and then create a new one. You cannot save this. If you click on a manage, it just show you the information, but you do not have an option to save the changes. You do not have an option to save the changes. Only the option is available is delete or else class. Or else class is available. Right? So click on this cancel. In case if you want to delete it, then directly, in case if you want to modify, delete this and create a new job. If you want to change a time or a date, anything that you wanted to change, you have to delete it and create a new one. Manage does not work. Now, step 3 is schedule the global class as below. Like you need to go to the build and develop Apex class. You need to go to the setup and search for a scheduled Apex classes. In the Apex class, click on the schedule button, schedule Apex button, and enter the job name and select the schedulable class by using the lookup icon, and then select frequently. Do you want to schedule it daily, weekly, monthly? And then enter the start date, end date, and what is the preferred time, and click on OK. That's what we have done it right now. Now, finally, to track the monitor, we need to go to the setup and search for a scheduled Apex or scheduled jobs. Now, when you click on the enter the scheduled jobs, you will be able to see the information here, right? This is the scheduled jobs. Here you can monitor what is happening. Now, if it is already running where can we see? You can go to the Apex jobs. This is the scheduled job. Now, if you go to the Apex job, it is going to show you what are the one that is currently running. Now, here it says that scheduled Apex is a queue. Scheduled Apex is a queue. It's a position schedulable, the one which we have scheduled it, right? So right now we have scheduled the schedulable batch class, and it says that it is in the queue. Now this is 28/08/2023. Now 8:29 a.m. scheduled date, but it is yet to be started. It's not yet started. In case if it is completed, it will say that it is completed. If it is a failed, then it is going to give you the information in the Apex job, why it is failed, what is the purpose it is failed. So these information, that means current job execution information is available in the Apex job. Now take a homework, implement a batch class to update the today created opportunity record status to prospecting. So that means whatever the opportunities that are created today, you need to update the stage to the prospecting. and schedule the batch class to run at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m. Now, either you can implement like this, or else what you can do is you can also implement both together. That means when I say both together, right now what we have done, we have implemented a batch class separately and schedulable class separately. Two classes I have implemented. Sometimes in real time, what we will do is we will write a schedulable, these two batches, these two classes, we will combine it. These two classes, we will combine it. Now, how do we combine it? So let me implement another class. Now, so far what we have done is I have written the batch class separately and schedulable class separately. Two classes I have implemented. Instead of writing a two classes for the schedulable, you can combine these two together. Now let's see, new Apex class. Let's say this is a schedulable batch. Schedulable batch. I'm going to say global. Global class name, then implements database dot batchable as object. As object, right? Now, this is a batchable. Now I wanted to merge the another one also, which is a schedulable. Now, how can I merge it? Basically, you need to write a two interfaces here. One is a batchable interface. Another one is a schedulable interface. Now, schedulable interface is, for the schedulable, we need to write the schedulable. Schedulable interface. So first one is a batchable, next one is a schedulable. Two interfaces we have to write. So total 4 errors you will get it. For the batchable, it says that you need to implement a start, execute, finish. For schedulable, you need to implement a execute method. That means if you combine the batchable, schedulable together, you will have a two execute methods. You will have two execute methods. Right, so that means here I'm going to write. Now let's say global. Now what are the database.query locator? First I'm going to implement a start method. Database.query locator. And the start database.batchable context and BC. Similarly, I'll have a global void execute. This is the second method. For the second method, database.batchable context and then BC, comma, list of S object. We are going to accept the what are the output of the start method is there that needs to be accepted here. And then finally we'll have a finish method for the finish method database.batchable context BC. Right, this is for the batch class. Now we also have one more class here, one more interface is schedulable. For schedulable, we have to use the global void execute. Now here we need to write the schedulable context. Schedulable context is. Right, total 4 methods. If you combine it, you will have a total 4 methods will be there. Now. Global void. Total 4 methods. For the start method, we need to have a return value. So let's say that I'm going to query the lead records. Now here we have a lead. Now in the lead, let's click on the all list all open leads. And let's say here, lead source. Wherever the lead source is available. That means if it is not available, assume that now total we have a 55. I simply want to update this lead source. Whatever this lead source is there, this is the lead status. Let me add the lead source. Select a field to display. Now here we'll have a lead source. Let's pick it up. Now, wherever the lead source is blank, I wanted to update it as a other. I wanted to update the lead source as other. Now let's combine that. Now let me query here string query equal to select ID comma lead source from lead object where lead source equal to null. Limit 5. I'm going to take only 5 records. Now here return database dot nothing is nothing. Database return database dot get query locator. I'm going to pass the query here. And that's it. This is the return type. Return type. Now the execute method is going to get the scope of this. Now get this scope. I'm going to check. This is we are getting the. So here we have a scope. So scope is. Now we are getting the scope. That means it is the S object. Now I need to convert this S object to the particular name. Now copy this. Now here we'll have a list of lead list equal to, I'm going to convert this list of lead and we'll have a scope. That means whatever the scope we are getting it, that I'm converting into the list of leads and storing into the lead list. Take copy of this. If lead list size is greater than 0, then loop through the each record for loop lead, let's say LD colon lead list. What we are doing, LD dot lead source. Lead source equal to, I'm updating to the other. And finally, I'll say that update whatever this lead list is there. Now, as this is a batch class, so this is instead of using a DML, I'll use the database dot update. Database dot update. I'm going to say lead list, comma, false. comma, false. Now let's save this. Finish method is completed.
Ma'am, spelling of finish.
Okay, so finish, let's save this. Now our batch class is completed. Now the next thing is that we need to implement the schedulable. For schedulable, what we have to do in the schedulable in the execute method. Previously, what we have done in the execute method, we have invoked the batch class. Same we need to invoke in the execute method, we need to invoke the batch class. Invoke batch class. So invoke in the batch class, either you can write it initializing the batch class and then call that BT into the database.execute batch, or else directly write the database.execute batch, database.execute batch, and within this you can specify the new, and whatever the batch class name is there, specify that batch class name. So either you can write it like this, or else you can write it schedulable batch BT equal to new schedulable class. In 2 lines you can write it, or else you can 1 line also you can write it. So database dot executable execute batch. Now here I am going to say it. Right, in 2 lines you can write it, or in single line you can write it. So if you want to write in the single line, then you have to use the new, whatever the class name is there, that class name. Let's click on save. Now if you want to schedule this batch class, go to the Apex classes. And schedule Apex. Now if you click on this Apex class, you can see that schedulable batch. The one which we have implemented is schedulable batch. Now it is available here. I'm going to schedule this schedulable batch. Now I wanted to schedule it weekly. Let's say Monday. So Monday, 9 to AM. Now click on the save. Now it is scheduled. Where can I see the scheduled job? We can see in the scheduled Apex. Scheduled job. So click on this scheduled job. Now you can see here, scheduled batch is scheduled at today 8:47 AM. And when is the next run? Next run is 4th. Weekly, I wanted to schedule it. Weekly, I wanted to schedule it. So this is the scheduled Apex. Using the scheduled Apex, we have scheduled it. Using the scheduled Apex, we have scheduled it. Now, there is something called flex queue. Now, when you search here, flex queue. So in the job itself, we have a Apex flex queue. Now, what is this flex queue is basically, the flex queue is if you are scheduling the jobs more than 5 times. If you are scheduling the job more than 5 times, so in that case, Apex job, whatever the Apex job is there, the Apex job can hold maximum 5 jobs. Maximum it can hold maximum of 5 jobs. If it is a more than 5 jobs, then what will happen? It will go to the flex queue. It will go to the flex queue. Now, 5 Apex jobs are processing. If you have scheduled 100 Apex classes or 100 jobs you have scheduled it. In that case, maximum parallelly it can run 5 jobs. Whatever the rest of the jobs are there, it will go into the flex queue as a holding. Now let me show you that. So right now it is a blank. Now let's say Let's see what are there is a update account record batch class. And we are updating to active this. Okay, let's see that how many records are there in the account. Click on these accounts. All customers. So we have around 75 records are there. Now, in the query, we are not putting anywhere anything, we are querying all the records. Let's assume that I'm going to schedule this batch for more than 5 times. For more than 5 times, I'm going to schedule it. dt equal to new update batch database dot execute equal to database dot execute batch. And here I'm going to call dt. Now this I'm going to call multiple times. Right, so this is the first one, and this is the first one, PT1, and this is the second batch execution, and this is the third batch, and fourth, and this is the fifth batch, sixth one, seventh, eighth batch, ninth batch, 10th, in this is the 11th one. Now I'm going to execute all these batches. I'm going to execute all these batches. Click on the execute. Now let's go and check flex queues. So all executed at a time. Fix job. All at a time completed. So let me change some logic here. What else we have? ACC record dot website equal to http:// www.salesforce.com. And let's add the ACC record dot email equal to some star ID. ID@gmail.com. Save. Let's see. Now debug. I'm going to add few more batch classes. Right now we have a very less logic, so it is keep on executing multiple times. Click on execute. It is completing quickly, but usually the jobs are sits into this. Now, whenever you want, you have it yet to be processed, or whenever it is in the queue, then usually it sits into the Apex Flex queue. Apex Flex queue. Now here, if I say Apex job, all the jobs are completed quickly. 8:55 a.m. All these jobs are completed. Right, so it did not take much time, so that's the reason it has completed. But usually it sits into the flex queue if there is more than 5 jobs are there. Now take this as an assignment, homework. Implement a schedulable batch class to update the lead record with the lead source to reinforce. That means you need to add one of the pick list field in the lead source as a reinforce and update all your records to the lead source equal to reinforce. And the next one is, for example, right now when we are scheduling the job from the Apex class, and here we have a Apex class. Now, whenever we are scheduling it, it has a time 1 a.m., 1 p.m., or it's in like all the hours is there. Assume that if I wanted to schedule something 1 hour 30 minutes. If I want to schedule something 1 hour 30 minutes, now how can I schedule it? Or if I wanted to schedule it 6:15 or a 6:45. So if I wanted to schedule that time, it is not possible to schedule. It has a 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. But if I wanted to schedule in the minutes like a 4 a.m., 30 minutes, then it is not possible. So in the real time, we usually go for a cron job. We usually go for a cron expression. What is this cron expression? Cron expression is instead of going to the Apex class and scheduling the class, instead of doing it from here, we can do it using the programmatically. If you want to schedule the class programmatically, then you have to go for a cron expression. Now this cron expression is, let's say use case is, I wanted to schedule the class daily 4 times. Daily 4 times I wanted to schedule it. That means morning 1 hour and afternoon 1 hour and then evening 1 hour and then again in the evening. So let's say here 2:15 a.m. I wanted to schedule it, and similarly 4:15 a.m. again 6:15 a.m. again 8:15 a.m. So these are the timings which I wanted to schedule it. Right, at least every 2 hours I'm scheduling the class. If I wanted to schedule the every 2 hours, it's not possible using the schedule Apex here. By going to the Apex class, in the schedule Apex, it is not possible. That means you can schedule it daily 1 time, or a weekly 1 time, or a monthly 1 time you can schedule it. You can schedule it weekly, monthly. But if you want to schedule it daily 4 times, which is not possible using the schedule Apex. So in that case, we have to go for a cron expression. Now this is the scenario. For this scenario, how can we do that? So usually the cron expression has a 7 parameters. 7 parameters. The 7 parameters are, now one is a seconds, minutes, hours, seconds, minutes, hours, day of the month, day of the week, optional year. So these 7 is a mandatory. The 7 is, like, I cannot say it's mandatory, but when you want to declare the cron expression, you should have at least these 7 parameters. Specify the seconds. If you do not want the seconds, now specify 0. Specify the minutes, specify the hours, day of the month. Day of the month, like in a month, which day you wanted to go for it. Month or a day of week. Day of week, which day you wanted to go for in the week. Optional year. Now maybe you want to have any year you wanted to specify. That means syntax will be string cron expression equal to seconds, space, minutes, space, hours, space, day of month, day of week, optional year. That means you will have a 7 parameters. Out of 7 parameters, the optional is this year is a optional. So maximum you will see in the real time also you might see the 6, but 7, if you want to make it as a specify it, you can specify it. So total you will have a 7 parameters, like a string cron expression. Now this is the seconds, minutes, hours, day of month, day of the week, right? Then we'll have a optional year. So let's say, for example, system.schedulable job title, cron expression, whatever this expression is there, that expression, and specify the class name. Specify the class name. So what will happen? You are scheduling the batch class. You are scheduling the class using the Apex class. Like you are scheduling the class in the Apex using the cron expression. Using the cron expression. Now, when you are scheduling it, what should be the job text? What should be the text? Like when you are scheduling from the here, what is the job name? You are specifying the job name here, right? Similarly, what is the cron expression and what is the job title? What is the job title? Title is what is the job name, and then frequency, you are specifying the frequency in the cron expression, and what should be the class name? What should be the class name? And that class name you are specifying in the schedulable class. You are specifying. You are specifying in the schedulable class. Right, let's see the example. Now here we have a 00 star question mark. Sometimes you will see in the real time question mark. What is this 00? What is the star? And sometimes you will see the question mark. What are those? What are those? Now let's say here the string cron expression 000 star question mark star. Seconds, minutes, hours. Right, seconds, minutes, hours, day of the month, day of the week, optional year. But in this case, you have a 0 is fine. That means 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours. Now, what is the star? Star is nothing but all values. Star is nothing but all values. That means do it for the all the month. Do it for the all the year. Question mark is we don't know. Question mark is we don't know. You decided. So for example, if you want to schedule a seconds, in the seconds, anything you can specify it between the 0 to 59. Seconds are 0 to 59. If it is a minutes, you need to schedule it 0 to 59. So total we have a 60 minutes, 60 seconds and 23 hours. Right? So hours will be the 0 to 23. Now similarly, day of month. If you want to specify the day of month, usually month days in the month is 31. right? If you don't know, specify the star, like a 1 to 31, or else you can specify the star. You can specify the star. Now, similarly, after that, we have a month. Month is, we have a 12 months. You can specify 1 to 12 or January, February, like a text. If you want to display it, just specify the only 3 letters of the month. Or else, if you do not know that, then specify the question mark. Or if you want to execute this batch class for the all the month, so you can specify the star. Now here, now next one is a day of week. Day of week. Now day of week, we have a days in the week, 7 days. So you can specify 1 to 7 or Saturday, Sunday to Saturday. 3 letters you need to specify: Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is there, you need to specify 3 letters. Or if you don't know, then you specify the question mark. Or if you want to execute all day, star. Optional year, like if you can mention the years from the starting of 1972 till 2099. That is the maximum we have it right now. So later Salesforce might increase it. For now, it is a 99. Now you cannot pass the both day of month and day of week parameter together. Together, you cannot pass it because system will get confused. You are specifying the day of month. You are specifying the day of month as well as the day of week also you are passing it. Right? So day of month is which day you wanted to execute this job. Similarly, day of week. So let's say if you say day of month is a second. Now day of week is Sunday. So second Sunday, it never matches. Second day of the month, second is the maybe anything. Right? So day of month is, now you can specify day of month 1 to 31. Dates, right? If you specify the date of month is a 2. And that means, and day of week is Saturday, Sunday. Now, if you surely know that every month second is a Saturday, then you can specify the second and Saturday together. But every month, the same date cannot be the same day. Same date cannot be the same day. So system will get confused. For example, let's say 0, 0, 0. Seconds is a 0, minutes is a 0, hours is a 0. Right? Now here you are mentioning the day of month is a first. Day of month is 1st Jan. You are mentioning first and month is a Jan. Month is January. First is the day of month, which is a first day. And month is a January. Day of week is Friday. Now, do you know 1st January is always Friday? We don't know, right? So that time what will happen? System will get confused. No, you are saying the day of month is 1. And again, you are saying the day of week is only Friday. Now, when it will find it maybe after 2 years, 5 years, or after 6 years, it will find the 1st January when it falls into the Friday. Only that time it will get executed the batch class. So when we have this kind of a scenario, system get confused and it will not execute it. Basically, it will not execute it. Now, it will, first of all, it will think, what if 1st of January is not Friday? What should we do? It should not run. That means every year it will not run. Every year it will not run. Now it will run after 5 years or whenever the Friday and 1st Jan is coming together, that time only it will execute. Right? So here, now in case I don't know anything. Now I don't know the month. Assume that I don't know the month or I don't know the day of week. I don't know the day of week, but I wanted to execute it every day. I wanted to execute it every day. Let's say here, this is now 0, 0, 0, star, 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 question mark, star. That means 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours, and then day of month, day of week. Week, I don't know. Which day we need to process, we don't know. So that means almost every day I wanted to process. I don't know the exact day. Exact day, I don't know. Now, when we say here 000 star star question mark 0, now when it will execute it? When we say 0 hours means what? 0 hours means night 12 a.m. every day it will execute. Now similarly we have a all zeros, 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours, and here I am saying the day of month is 23. That means 23rd of the date. 23rd of the date and month star, all month. Day of the week, I don't know. Day of the week, I don't know here. Star is optional, which is a year. Now we have a 0023. That means what will happen? Now let's see this. Now this is 000 star star question mark 0 means. Now you guys have to answer this. Now here 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours is nothing but 12 a.m. Right? 12 a.m. And the month is all the month. And day of the week is all the weeks, and day of the month is all the month. Day of the month is we don't know. Now here optional is year. So in this case, when it will execute this, 12 o'clock. All days, 12 o'clock it is going to execute it. Now if I specify this after the month, day of the month, I am specifying the 23rd. Now what will happen here? Day of the month is 23rd. Right, 23rd of the month. Day of the month is 23rd. So 23rd of the month, when it will execute? 23rd of this is the 23rd day of the month. It is not the minutes or hours. Day of the month, 23rd of the month, 12 a.m. it will execute it. Now similarly here I have specified the hours is at 10. Hours is 10. Now rest all are star star, and I have not specified the year at all. So when it will execute this one? When it will execute? 10 a.m. all day. That means every day it will execute the 10 a.m. Now next one is 0 seconds, 0 hours, 15 minutes. 15 hours, sorry, 15 hours. Seconds is a 0, minutes is a 0, hours is a 15. 3 p.m. all day. Right? Similarly, we have a 0 seconds, 10 is the minutes, and 15 is the hours.
3:10 p.m. every day.
3:10 p.m. every day. Now here we have a 0 seconds, 10 is the minutes, 17 is the hours. 17 is the hours, and then day of month. Day of month, I don't know. Day of month, I don't know. And month is a all month. Day of week is Monday to Friday. Day of week is Monday to Friday. Now when it will execute?
5:10 p.m. Every month.
5:10.
Monday to Friday.
That means if 5:10 p.m. only weekdays, Monday to Friday, all the month it will execute. Now here, 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours. Day of the week is start and month is 1. And day of the month, we don't know, and the star is optional.
That's 12 a.m. In January. Every Jan.
Jan, 12 a.m. every day it will execute. Now here, 0 seconds, 0 minutes, 0 hours. Day of the week is start, all days. Month is all days. Day of the month is question mark. We don't know the month. Now 2023.
In the year
All
2023,
2023
all
year,
days, 12
12
a.m.
a.m.
So it will execute the 12 a.m. every day in the month of 2023. Let's see the simple example. Now let's go ahead and schedule it. Now we have implemented them. So let's assume that this schedulable batch is. Let's go ahead and schedule this. Question mark is when you don't know. So it's like if you don't know, by default, it will take all day. Star is all day. You know, star means confirm you have to run it for all day. Confirm you have to run it for all day. When you don't know which day is almost equal to all day. Right? So question mark is you can specify the question mark when you don't know. That time Salesforce will take it as a all day. Now, let's say here I have a schedulable batch. Now I wanted to schedule this. Let's assume that 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I wanted to schedule it, or else let's take a 2 a.m. Let me go here. Now, how can we declare the cron expression? Now we already have this. Okay, let's say here I'm going to specify. This is the first batch job that is scheduled it, right? Now, if you want to schedule this batch class, if you want to schedule this batch class, will you able to schedule it? You will not be able to schedule it because only you can schedule the schedulable batch class when you have a interface which is called schedulable. When you have a interface which is called schedulable, only you can schedule those batch classes. Now let me take this one, schedulable batch class. So first you need to declare the string cron expression equal to, you are going to specify the 0 space seconds, minutes, hours, let's say 2 a.m. and day of the week is all the week, month is all the month, day of the month, I don't know. Day of the month is basically Monday to Friday. I don't know the Monday to Friday, which day it is. So question mark. That means it will take whatever the default is there, right? Usually for the day of month only, we will give the question mark. Because if the day of the week, if I say first, in the day of the week, first, every month first, whatever the day is there, right? So day of the week is first. Now in the day of the week first, whatever the day of the month is there, like Monday to Friday, whichever comes, take it. Whichever comes it, take it. Or else if you want to specify day of the week is first, and again specify the Monday to Friday. That means first month, every month first, Monday to Friday, every month first. If you specify here Monday, only consider this Monday. Only consider this Monday. That means now here, first day of every month, check the Monday. No, I don't want to give the Monday here, question mark. Any day, take it any day. Based on this condition, take it. This is when we have a question mark. That means whatever the day it might be, whatever the day of month it might be, just take it. Do not stick with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Saturday. Do not stick with that. Just take it. So what will happen here? I'm scheduling it 2 a.m. Now let's specify here just simply start. I'm going to schedule it 2 a.m. and this is the class. Now how can we schedule it? System.schedulable. System.schedulable. You need to specify the job name, Queueable. schedulable 2 a.m. job. You need to specify the cron expression, whatever we have declared on top. Cron expression, comma, new schedulable batch class. Schedulable batch class. Now you might ask, now can I give this batch class which does not have a schedulable? Can I give this? Let's try that. Right, I'm giving the delete position batch. Now this is the first one. Now let's schedule it this one. Click on execute. Execute the highlighted one. Now what is happened here? Method does not exist. Incorrect signature. Right? Schedulable string delete position. It did not work. Control Z. Now schedulable batch. Now let's execute this. Execute the highlighted one. System.schedule. Now let's execute this. Is anything wrong? System.schedule. System.schedule. System.schedule, job name, and what is the job that you wanted to schedule it. Now click on the execute. Now it says that method does not exist. Now what I'll do, I'll use the schedulable batch class. Execute it. Now it is executed. So only interface that has a schedulable, only that one will be executed. Only that one will be executed. Now if I go back to the scheduled job, scheduled job, now it will say that 2 a.m. is scheduled at 2 a.m. Now in case if you wanted to schedule this for the 2:30, every 30 minutes you wanted to schedule it. You wanted to schedule it every 30 minutes. Like let's say that you have scheduled it for 2 a.m. by mistakenly. Now how do you schedule this 2:30? You have to delete it, and here you need to specify the 2:30. So what will happen? It will schedule at 2 a.m. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Now take a notes of this. Let me go back. Cron expression. Take a notes of this cron expression. Okay, so for example, if you wanted to schedule the job in every 1 hour. Now, in that case, what you have to do, go to the this schedulable one. Right? Now, whenever you wanted to schedule it every 1 hour, what you can do, you can simply in the execute batch, what you can do is you can specify the 00:55, 0:55 minutes. We don't know the hour. Now schedule this. So what will happen? First, it will execute from the outside. We are executing the batch. We are scheduling the class by using the cron expression. It will execute the class, and again after executing it in the execute method, again it will schedule it after 1 hour. After 1 hour, it will schedule it. Now, whenever we save this, we cannot able to save, because as soon as the batch is scheduled, once the batch is scheduled, you cannot modify the class. You cannot modify the class. That means when you try to modify the class, it will give you an error saying that it is in the future job, scheduled in the future job. This batch is already scheduled. You cannot modify this job. So whenever the batch is scheduled, you cannot modify anything. Once the batch is scheduled, the batch classes cannot be edited. Batch class or whatever the class is there, it cannot be editable. So if you want to edit this class, so what you need to do, you need to go to the scheduled batch class, delete this, whatever the 2 AM is there, delete it. And similarly, delete the another schedulable batch class, delete this. Now, if you try to save this, now it is saved. So once the batch is scheduled, you cannot modify the batch class. You have to make the changes, right? So for example, now in case I'll say here instead of 2:30 AM, I'll say 0. And here I'll say here star. Now what will happen if I say star? If I say star, what will happen? Now let's go ahead. That means all the time. Now let's click on this. I'm not specifying the hour. Seconds is 0, minutes is 0, but hours is star. Now click on this, execute, highlighted one. Now let's go here, refresh. Now, this is scheduled at 10 AM. Now it is 9:29 AM, scheduled at 10 AM. That means every 1 hour. Every 1 hour, it is going to execute the batch. If you do not specify the hour, now if you want to schedule the class for the hourly, then you don't specify the hour there. So what will happen? Every hour, it is going to execute the class. Now, right now it is going to start at 10 AM. Once it is completed, again it will start at 11 AM. Right? So if you specify the star, it will be executed hourly. Now take the homework, implement a schedulable batch class to update the delivery installation status to in progress for all the opportunities. Now, you need to create a field there. Now let me open the opportunity. Details. Now here we have a delivery installation status. In the opportunity, we have a delivery installation status. So you need to update the delivery installation status to in progress for all the opportunities. So this is a pick list field, right? So this you need to update it to the in progress for all the opportunities. The opportunities that are not closed. The opportunities that are not closed, for that you need to update the delivery installation status to in progress. Take a notes. Okay then. So few interview questions. Now second homework. And whatever you have implemented the class, schedule this for the 1 AM of 28th of the month. That means every month 28, 1 AM you need to schedule this class. Every month 28, 1 AM you need to schedule the whatever the above you have written in the class, that class has to be scheduled. Few interview questions. Now, what is the batch Apex in Salesforce? When to use the batch Apex? What is the syntax of batch Apex? How to execute the batch Apex? Write a scenario for the batch job. Now, when you go for a batch job, explain me the scenario. Write down the at least 2 scenarios when you will use the batch job. How to write a schedule batch class? How to schedule batch class without Apex code? How to schedule a batch class without Apex code? What is asynchronous process? What is the differences between the asynchronous and synchronous? And what is future method? What is the queueable? And what is the differences between the future and queueable? So you need to note down the answers. These answers are already available in my sessions. Whatever I have explained, there I have already given the clarity. Right? So just give me the answers and send it to me the answers. That's all for today.